Over. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, what's up everyone? So we have our horizontal bandsaw right here set up in the academy, also at the middle schools. So we use a couple different versions of this same saw. This can also be tilted to a vertical position, and then you have a base plate that you put on there, and then you can turn it into vertical. But this is horizontal only. This is a hands-off top scenario, so it'll keep you very, very safe. One of the things you have to be aware of are these controls right here. So this is a hydraulic, feed control, and it's got this lever, and you can think of like if I'm going across with my valve knob, that means I'm shut off. So it's got a little ball valve in there. But if I come this way, you can think of now I have a flow, right, of that hydraulic fluid. So that position is off. That's where we want to be in the beginning. So we know that we have this VEC channel, so it's a 1x2 and a 1x5, and we have to set these up differently because of the nature of the cut. So with this particular one, we would come over here, and you don't have to raise this up too high. So I'm going to take the saw head up. I'm going to take the knob to open the vise, and I'm going to first make a cut on this 1x2. So I wouldn't put it in up like this, because then as I'm coming down to the bottom of my cut, it only has this that's resting on that plate. So what you would want to do is flip it just like this, and I'm actually going to take that nasty part off right there. So you'd have your marks, right? So with this speed knob, when it's up like this, you don't have to go past this. There's nothing you're going to be cutting right now that you need to go past that. So now my flow is on, so I can adjust that speed on the way down, find me a good speed. You don't want to go too fast, you want to keep everything clean. So I'm coming down closer to my cut. I'm going to use this lever to actually stop the saw. So the next thing I want you to notice is we already have this arm out, right? So this is that blade support. So we're not cutting much more over it. We've got this almost all the way out, so that'll keep the blade from walking. And then we have our on and off. So notice that this on and off actually has a kill switch right here. It's just a rigid mounted kill switch. Comes down, turns it off when the blade goes all the way down. So you don't have to worry about blade stopping, or you don't have to worry about stopping the blade. It'll go ahead and stop itself. So always pay attention to these, because they'll get boogered up a little bit and they'll get bent if it's used improperly. You just want to check your machines. So now I'm going to vise my part up. So I would have marks, then I would take my vise, my jaws in, and I would make sure the bed is clean, and then I am going to squeeze my vise, okay? So I'm not going too heavy, but I want to go heavy enough to where that part doesn't move, okay? This is just something you need to keep in mind, and don't let the parts move, because that is not good for a cut, right? So you want it to be rigid, fixtured to the machine. And so now we're ready to make the cut. We've already got our speed set. So we don't take this knob and go all the way down and close it, because that'll start damaging the ball valve. You don't do that. You set your speed, you use this for on and off. So I'm gonna go ahead, start my blade, right? And see, we can tell our cut's going back this way. So this blade is at an angle, and what you're gonna see is it's gonna start engaging that metal in one place and not the other. And that's why we wanna go really, really slow when cutting this C-channel. So you can see where it engaged the back side, like this side of the metal, then it's going to the front side. But now at the bottom of that cut, we're going super, super slow. That way we can hit that landing. And cut is done. So now over here, here's that switch. So it's gonna take that switch down, and then you let the blade come to a stop. You go back to your lever, close valve, and then always be mindful you don't have to go up too high, okay? That's high enough to get whatever stop. So in saying that, now you can repeat the same thing with the 5x, right? So now you have a good clean cut. It was that boogered up place, but what we'd actually do is then we would take that, we'd put it on the mill and face that off, square that part up. All right, so we have the 1x5 This particular cut, what we're trying to do is get the least amount of teeth on the part. So if we actually have this against this table, we may encounter something where we're touching like an inch on that blade. So if we turn this part straight up, we still have enough vise to properly do this. And what I'm doing, I'm lining this up. I would actually bring this down slightly. Remember, we're releasing this valve. We've got that speed control, it's going very slow. Then I can take this lever valve, okay? And I can come down, check my cuts, and we're right on our cut. So I would go ahead and come back to the vise. So turn the knob, lock it down, check my part. It's square, it's solid. Now I can start my saw. My speed was good. So you can tell on that part there was a whole lot of chatter just because what we're doing, we're contacting a piece of C-channel. So what the jaws of that vise are doing is they're hitting here and here. So we're gonna get chatter, you know, across this metal that's out here. And you know, I would say that this particular piece, you can do it on here, and there's other techniques that you could use, like vertical bandsaw, to cut this piece. But this can get it done. Remember, it's all in the lever. So I lock that lever back. I take the blade back up, and we're set. We undo the vise. We got our part out. We can deburr it. We can take it to the mill, square the end of it, clean our machine, leave it nice and tidy. And there's horizontal bandsaw. This is our jet machine. Here we are at the Engineering Academy. Thanks for allowing us to share our journey.